everybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
What's up, Gamer Nation? Oda King Live coming at you again for another check out what I got in my collection episode, or retail game quickie, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I'm doing it a little differently today anyway, as it is. What we're going to look at today is actually a Japanese title out of my collection. Well, a few of them, because I can't really do it just on one since it's Japanese. I don't speak Japanese, and I can't really talk about just one for too much. So we're going to look at a few. And as you know, it's the Super Robot War series that, you know, primarily probably 95% were only released in Japan. We did get a few over here, but to my knowledge, they were only, I believe they were only on Game Boy, possibly Game Boy Advance. For me to dig those out is a bit of a headache right now, so I couldn't really be bothered trying to get to those bad boys. Maybe the DS, without pulling up Google right now, I just can't be bothered. But definitely there was some released North America on the Game Boys. I don't believe any were released on the PlayStation console or any other, and that's what we're going to look at today, which, you know, pretty much consists of the PlayStation and PlayStation 2. Now, this is, well, more or less the, I guess, original or whatever you'd have. The Super Robot Wars complete box on PlayStation. It consists of Super Robot Warriors 2, 3, and EX, I believe, in a box set. I believe 2 and 3 were originally released on the Super Famicom in Japan. EX, I'm not too sure. But it's a really nice collection. I really enjoyed that they re-released the 3 on the PlayStation, because the PlayStation really, you know, with its advanced, you know, and CD-based system, it really captured a lot of the anime that this game uses. You know, you had all the full anime cutscenes, all the voice acting, and it was epic as hell. I first ran into one of these at like you know, one of those Asian core game centers, and I bought it, and just because I knew, you know, some of the robots on the covers. I had no idea how to play this game very well. I used to play a lot of imports, but holy, this was hard until I finally figured out, you know, the power-ups. You could, you know, in the menu while you're playing, you could, you know, double your attack, double your shield, things like that. And until I realized, now remember, we're talking like 15, 20 years ago before the internet was really big. So you couldn't just look this stuff up. So until I finally figured out what all those, you know, power-ups were, this game was kicking my butt. But after that, I was able to finish it. I believe I fully finished a few of them on that, and I finished, I believe, F. I don't actually think I ever played Alpha, so I believe F came next, and then Alpha after that. And of course, there's many different, you know, iterations of all of them. There's so many of these games that it's kind of crazy just how many there is. Never mind all the other spin-offs of other, you know, same robot type games, such as Brave Saga here, or there's a few others that I got rolling around here. Here's another, the Super Robot War F series. F Final. So there's tons of them. So, you know, this one, it's really hard to tell because it's just kind of an etching. But I mean, off ones like this, you can see, you know, you got your original Gundam, you got Gunbuster, you got, you know, Evangelion, you know, Shinji's 01 there. I mean, you got Getter Robo and, you know, Mazinger Z. You got, you know, Macross, like the YF fighters. You got, you know, Go Lion. You got Unicorn. I mean, there's not Unicorn. That's Turn A. Sorry, I know. Relax. I can't. I'm not a super robot guy anymore as much as I used to be. So my memory is a little fuzzy on a lot of these robots, and God knows there's a lot of them. So, I mean, on the back here, you got this. The early ones were mostly, mostly from, the Gundam series, Sunrise, whatever it is. And there wasn't a lot of differences there. But once they started introducing things like Evangelion and Gunbuster and things, it got ridiculous and awesome, because some of them were kind of OP'd. I mean, and I definitely enjoyed having them on my team. So, you know, the Japanese games always look so good too, compared to the the American release versions. There, your booklet's all nice and beautiful, and unfortunately, you know, I still can't read it at all. And here's all those power-ups that I could never figure out how to do. They're in there. And background on this one is, yeah, nothing too exciting here. And then you got Alpha, which was in the later series, so that's why you start seeing the newer Gundams in here. And again, nothing too super interesting on the back here, but whoa. Oh my god! I forgot the disc on this one is absolutely thrashed. Look at all the teeth that are missing. Holy god. And the problem with these Japanese games is that they use these weird, you know, double thick cases. I don't understand why they did. And they're not the easiest things to replace, because, you know, if they're the legit ones, they say the PlayStation at the top here. So they're kind of hard to come by outside of buying just more random imports. And then there's a ton more on PlayStation, but then you move up to the PS2. You got Super Robot Wars MX and OG, I guess, original gangster robots. I never played any on the PS2. I had an alpha on it years ago. I never actually got into playing it. I mean, the OG, you're getting new, well, like, you know, you're getting pretty newer now. And then of course they're on PS3, they're on PS4, they're everything. But I mean, I just, again, you know, you got your Evangelion robot and you know, Mazinger and a few more Gundams in there, just the original 0078 or whatever it is. And then you got, oh, what is that, Raxophon, I believe, which is interesting. But you know, standard green case. And let's see, we got our next colorful manual, of course, per usual, back when colorful manuals were a thing. And these systems are where it really took off, though, because I mean, just look at the art, you know, the full animation, full voice acting. You know, you got Ray there, Nadesco up here. My god, it's like playing the show pretty much. It's a, you know, like a more of like a real-time strategy game. You're on a board, you got all your robots, say in space, and then, you know, the enemy's on this side, you're on this side, and you move them a few times, you know, until you pretty much wipe each other out, or take over the, you know, base or the colony or whatever you're defending or attacking. And back when I was really into RTSs and RPGs, this was amazing. And I played the heck out of them, but they were kind of a pain being in Japanese only. So that's why when they came out on the Game Boy, I picked them all up. Game Boy Advance, or I don't believe anywhere on the DS. I'm not sure though, don't quote me. And they were great because, you know, finally I could read what the hell was going on. I could figure out the power-ups. But at the same time, due to the, you know, the system's limitations, you lost all the voice acting, you lost all the full anime, you know, cutscenes, and that's really half the fun for me. So it was really disappointing. I'm not sure why none of them were ever really released on the CD-based systems, because I really think these would sell well, because you know that, you know, it's a niche market, sure, but I really think they would work. Just like the Dynasty Warriors when they mixed with Gundam, those are still pretty popular today. So anyways, without further ado, that was just my super quickie little review on the, you know, some of the Super Robot Wars. God knows there's probably over 100 of them now. I myself have at least 20 of them floating around here. But that's about it for today's, you know, retro-ish gaming episode. Let me know if you've ever played any of the Robot Wars games. You know, let me know what's your favorite. Leave a like if you like robots, because who doesn't? And leave a comment down below, and we'll talk. And I'll talk to you next time. Peace.